Welcome to the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast.
I'm Jill from New York.
And I'm Linda from Tasmania.
We are two moms from opposite sides of the world who are living, demonstrating, and helping moms across the world build their self-care asset bank.
Ready to dive in? Messy, interrupted, imperfect, and most of all mucked up. Let's get going.
Hello.
And we're on.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, goodness. That's so good to hear that intro is still running hot. I know. Declan's little cry. I'm like, he doesn't cry like that anymore.
Oh, yes, he does. No.
But no, not like it sounds, it has changed. Yeah. All right, so welcome to the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast, Jill.
Yes.
And for all those listening, we're going to start with highs and lows because we know that motherhood has both sides of the coin. And we want to also bring you the realities of there are really some low times at times that we're both experiencing at the moment. While in the same hour, you can be like, wow, my kid just did this. Yep. That's awesome. And it's a roller coaster, that's for sure. So, Jill, do you want to start with your highs and lows?
Sure. Let's see. What is a good high? Oh, school started, but that's not really high. We talked about that last time. I feel like. No, I don't think we did. School started. We're there. I'm so happy to be in routine. We're still trying to figure it out, though, because there were some off days last week with, 2 really good days and then 2 really bad mornings where it was a fight to get him off of me. But I think we have a good plan for this morning. Well, when this comes out, it's not this morning. As we're talking, it's this morning. So we'll see if the next time we get together, I have better news for it. But that is my high, though. That school is here. He's loving it. There's the hiccups along the way, but we will get them smoothed out. My low is just my dad's health. Things have escalated, I think, or become a little bit more critical for him, and just in a place that I just don't know. And I hate this anticipatory grief, anticipatory outcomes, just sitting and waiting for whatever to happen. Just is very uncomfortable to sit in and don't know how to navigate it. So it's just, it's yucky. Don't want to linger on it, but that's my low.
Yeah, a huge low. Yeah, such a huge low.
What do you have today, Linda, for highs and lows?
Let me think. I'm going to start with my low. I am on my 4th week of sickness after everyone's done a tag team of RSV and influenza and all sorts of things. And I'm at my maxed out limit. I definitely found myself getting really short today. They should be all back at school and daycare tomorrow. So I felt like today was the day where I was like, right, one more day. And it was also just really busy because it was really windy. I did 8 loads of washing and had way too much that I tried to achieve probably in between, all the things because I didn't want to do it all tomorrow.
Right.
Which is ironic. And for me, the high, in between having Quinn off sick last week, I actually took him to a bit of self-care for me. So I got my brows and lashes done, and I usually only get them done about twice a year now. And I actually took my 4-year-old with me. And he just sat there with a little mask on, and he had a little squeegee, stress ball that he held in his hand and was squeezing that. Aww. And he didn't need the phone or anything like that. He just sat there and looked around and looked at everyone and watched me, and every now and then I give him a thumbs up and he gave me a thumbs up and everything like that. So, and as we were walking in the door, he said, "So what exactly is this sort of self-care anyway?" Like, it
I
was
love
very
that.
sweet.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, he was so good. He waited for about 45 minutes just sitting there watching the world go by and watching what was going on and probably wondering, oh my gosh, what is he doing? Like,
Yeah.
it was so good. So, yeah, very proud.
Aw.
Mm, it's really good. So, yeah.
I can,
Anyway,
yeah.
today we're talking about sort of digital boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
That it would have been so easy, I think, in that moment to give him something to watch, because
Mm.
I guess I might have been more at ease thinking, oh, well, he'll be more distracted, or he's taken care of and I don't need to worry. However, in the end, I chose not to do that, which is good, I think, because, yeah, it's something I think we need to be really aware of as far as those boundaries around scrolling and screens and
Mhm.
anything else, both for us and for our kids, I think, to see us putting some boundaries around that. How do you navigate that, Jill? In
Well, I think I'm trying to start. I mean, it's not really going super well. We do rely on screen time when we go out. And it's become kind of a routine for him for certain things. Like he sits and watches his shows while he eats, and we're fine with it when we're eating because it kind of gives us a break. But up until that point, he's buck wild. Like I can't control him. So it's like a breath of fresh air when he's just sitting and focusing on something that we're okay with him focusing on for a minute. Because we know otherwise, alternatively, he is exercising his mind and everything. But right now he's into video games. But he's also playing with us and in a controlled time frame. So like maybe like the half hour before we have to leave for school. So we're trying to set it up where like, you got to be ready in order to be able to do this. It's not just you get to spend the whole morning doing this. So get yourself dressed, ready to go. And then you can sit and play and trying to set up just some rules around it.
Yeah.
Then the new thing that I've put into the calendar with being the self-care block that we have after school with me using my popsicle sticks, I ultimately want that to be non-digital stuff. So like we're outside playing or we're doing something craft-wise and making that space where we're getting non-TV time. And then during his dinner time is where he's going to have that reprieve of finally getting his shows, because we're now like doing karate almost every day after school, and there's really not a lot of downtime after school pickup, and then like we have a little bit of self-care, and then we're like, okay, we're off to karate or kickboxing and whatever else we have going on for the evening. So we are fully booked, and I think that's going to be helpful, minus the fact that naps are disappearing. So we'll see. Not here for the no nap thing.
Gosh, it seems like a lifetime ago for me right now.
He's 5. We've gotten a long time with naps, but this poor kid's dying.
Yep. Yes, I can imagine.
And Linda, I feel like you've had a really good grasp on the kids' screen time for a while now, and what they have access to and how long they get to do. Because you have 4 kids and they have to share the stuff. It's not like they each have their own devices or computers or anything. So how do you
I
manage?
think during the sickness, it wasn't managed very well. They were having hours sometimes just laying on the couch because it was a good way to get them to rest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they're very active, and there are times if it's not on where I'm very much like trying to get them to rest and very frazzled, and sometimes just like, oh my gosh, okay, this isn't working because you just want to run and jump off the couch and somersault, and I just want you to get better. And like, it has got trickier with the older ones lately. I think over winter there's always a little bit more than spring, summer, even autumn. There is more time that they do spend on it. And I think having a 13-year-old with a phone, I checked on his average phone time per day, which I do every so often, and it was about 2.5 hours. I was like, yeah, that's crept up really quickly, hasn't it, mate? And he's like, oh, wow. Oh, yes. I'm like, okay. But he uses it to listen to music. He uses it to talk to his mates. He uses it to organise. He uses it to read Wikipedia. He uses it to do all sorts of things because it's right there in his hand.
Yeah.
So it's really can be really tricky. And then for me, there are times when I'm also using my phone to check the weather or pay a bill or check emails or send a message to friends, or try to arrange, mum or dad to come and help out with something, or like there's so many ways that we need to use our phones.
It's this fine line of it being a tool versus media that we're engaged in.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like it needs a refresh. Then again, I've also got holidays coming up again in a few weeks. Already feel like I just had holidays. So, but I have put like passwords on a lot of stuff on the TV, so they can't access YouTube on the TV. They can't access Prime or all that sort of stuff on the TV. So, and then, yeah, that I do find that if they, so we went for a couple of months there with only having like free to air TV, so like the analog channels and not the digital internet channels where you can sort of stream certain things. And now that we've gone back to having a TV which is internet friendly and streams all the things, we're just having the same shows on repeat again, like Octonauts over and over and over. And Octonauts, I'm like, you've watched this one, buddy, like a dozen times.
Yeah, that's how
you know the words. Like,
I think that's when we shooted the show without it being on one time. I'm like, wow, okay, now I know this is a little too much.
Yeah. And that's, that's not a bad thing, because that repetition is how they learn. But I think it becomes harder when you've watched this so many times now, you're sitting down for 2 minutes watching a little bit and then running off and playing.
Yeah.
Like, why?
What is the point of this? Yeah.
And then if I am also maxed out like I was today, I definitely know that a lot of the noise stimulation can be really add to. So if the TV's on and, one of them's practicing guitar and the other one's on the computer with a computer game going, and there's a toy that just plays music constantly, and I really want to rip the batteries out. Like, it was so much. It was
that same thing.
Just whoa. And I found myself getting really crabby because I was so overstimulated by noise.
Definitely.
Plus a windy day, like the windows were rattling. It was that windy today. And so that was adding to more of just and I know that's not even like a digital boundary, but that's how it feels with the always on stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when we're always on, it just feels really, really noisy. Really noisy.
I'll come home from something and Bobby will have the TV on because we've given Declan his own phone to watch his shows on because we were never really like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch our phones and you get the TV. We were not like that. So he gets the devices and we get the TV. So we have the TV blaring because Bobby's watching TV. Then Declan's device will be blaring, but Declan is not near the device. Same thing. He's watched it so many times. Now he's off to go play with something instead of watching it and doesn't turn it off. And I'm like, I'm trying to talk to someone and nobody can hear me and I can't hear myself. So I'm just like, you know what? We're not talking until everyone pauses their stuff and we can talk without all of this craziness happening. Oh, yeah. I feel you on that one. It just raises my blood pressure. I'm like, no.
And you're right. No, it's really hard to have a conversation or get anyone to listen or ask the simplest of things like, just, yeah.
I mean, it's always that's the time when he's like, mommy, 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 mommy. I'm like, I can't hear you, especially when you're screaming at me through it all. No.
Yeah.
But then, like, what kind of boundaries do we putting up? So we do obviously have a cutoff time when we're getting ready for bed. For me, even my phone goes on do not disturb at 10 p.m. And I typically don't pick up the phone after I've put Declan to bed. Sometimes I'll end up playing a game in his bed while we're doing routine and he's trying to fall asleep. I'll pull out a Sudoku game on my phone. But otherwise, once he's in bed, my phone pretty much gets put down because I know there's not going to be anyone trying to contact me usually at that time of night anyway. And then I don't usually have it turned back on until after I've done my devotionals in the morning. So like that, people can get me if they need to. Like I have emergency ways to get through, but the phone's pretty much, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. not attached to me. And that has helped me out a lot. Not the first thing that I pick up and start looking at in the morning or trying to fall asleep with it.
So do you sleep with it in your room?
I do, because that's where my charger is. And sometimes it will be my alarm because my actual like analog clock only has 2 alarms and I don't want to change them. I don't want to wake up. I do it's with me.
Yeah. I actually had a conversation about this with my sister, who's very much like, sometimes even at 7, her phone goes into the kitchen on the charger because her charger's in the kitchen, goes in the kitchen, and she doesn't touch it again till the next morning. Like, she's really quite strict with it and has, a very strict bedtime and early bedtime.
Yeah.
But I think the conversation was around having your phone in the bedroom. And I think if I had 2 adults in the house, it would I'd feel more comfortable, but I do like to have it close in case I do need it at night, being on my own now.
Yeah. And for me, with my dad, with a few family members' conditions currently for emergencies, I know I won't hear it in the other room if it's not with me. Because typically my phone's on silent, so I can at least hear the vibration on the desk, on the end table next to me. But if it's in another room, I'm not going to hear it. So I have to remember to turn the volume up, blah, blah, blah. But that emergency has always got me of like, it doesn't need to be next to my bed, so I could put it on the other side of the room. So be like that step away from me. If I had a landline, because I don't have a landline, then it would be a different story, because then
Neither
I'd
do I.
be
Yep. Yep. I just wonder if it's something we've grown accustomed to. Like, do
Yeah.
we really, because we didn't used to have it previously in other generations. So, yeah, it's interesting.
I find myself, like, when it comes to me, I'm not wanting to do self-care things that has to do with digital anything. So, like, it's always usually away and around, like, away from things that are, like, not on my computer, not on my phone. Try to put the phone away when I'm doing the self-care stuff, unless it's for music, which is a big part of one of the reasons to have it with me for certain things. But I think I'm finding myself using my phone less and my computer more. But I have this attachment to it for certain reasons, because there's definitely things that I do on my phone that I don't do on the computer, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of new phone out there that's taken away, like, it strips your phone back down to the basics, like your old school phone, where it's just pretty much the ability to call someone and take pictures. And I'm like, do I really want this? Because that would be really good. But then there's certain apps that we use to communicate with people across the world that I can't do just for my regular provider. So I'm like, I still have to have these things on there. So how can I minimize my access on my phone? So that's something I've recently been considering, because I am in the market for a new device.
Yeah. I often don't know where my phone is, which keeps me off it for a while. I'm like, I put it down somewhere. I have no idea where.
Or it was stolen from me from a child. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Because he's always wanting to look at pictures. And you know what? That's my favorite thing right now. I think the most usage that he's getting off of any of our phones is to record or to look back at photos and videos. And I think it's adorable. He's like in this whole like vlogging phase right now where he just records himself talking about what he's doing. That's so fun.
Oh, that's so important at his age as well for identity making and like growing with confidence and realizing who he is. And yeah, it's so sweet. It's really, yeah, you're doing a great job, I think. Yes. Yeah, I really do. And I know it can be really hard to put up those digital boundaries, especially while we're sitting here on our computer across the world.
Where our primary work is digitally based. I think that's why it's been a little easier for us to eliminate some of the digital stuff outside of our work time, because we are so in it with work stuff. I mean, we're not the biggest content creators visually. I think we're more auditory content creators with either being live or, obviously doing podcasting as much as we do. Like, you don't, we're recording things and then clipping them up instead of creating content organically for videos. I feel like, if that makes sense, how I'm describing the differences of the, it's like, I don't have my phone popped up everywhere I go and recording versus I'm sitting at my desk creating content in a different way. So I think that kind of forces me to not want to be on my phone outside of this. And really what comes down to sometimes just getting stuck in the trap of doom scrolling when we're so beyond the care that we need for ourselves, or just a way to escape the chaos happening. And I've seen that shift in me and some of the other people that I know closely that work in the same way, just having that shift where it's almost kind of easy to put a boundary up after work hours. So those little things of just blocked time that you can say, there's no phone in this in this time. There's no TV. Let's just turn everything off. Because I've tried to have a Friday night, no nothing night. It doesn't work.
Yeah. No.
Did not work for
No.
us. So it works with me and Declan to have a self-care block where there is no TV or phone for like an hour and a half and do something.
Yeah, I'll do a screen-free Sunday, try to, but yeah, I need to get it back after winter and sickness and all of that stuff, because yeah, it is hard with tweens and a teenager. It is increasingly difficult, but we'll get there.
Wow. Yeah. You are not alone, listener, if you are trying to set up some digital boundaries, because I think we all face those challenges.
Exactly.
With what life throws at us. So if anyone listening has really good suggestions, please email us too, because we are always open to trying out new ways to put up some of these boundaries. Yeah.
So, Jill, until next week.
We hope you can unstuck your Mac. Take care. Bye.